Okay.
Yeah, so trend number 3 next, I'd like to introduce my dear colleague, Heidi Moon, who's the GWI and GWS's VP of Marketing and Communications, coming out of that role to be a first-time trends reporter for us this year, and her trend is called the Rise of Neurowellness.
Well, thank you so much, Beth. It's so fun to be, we've been on the back end of this report for many years together, and it's fun to be writing a trend that I'm so passionate about. To start, I'm going to do a little bit of anatomy lesson. You've already heard a little bit about the nervous system regulation, and by explaining this, you'll understand why this is coming to the forefront right now. The nervous system has 2 key parts: your central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord, and your peripheral nervous system. That's the part that sends the signals to the rest of your body and all your organs. Neurowellness is really focused on that peripheral system, especially the part that is below your conscious control. That peripheral nervous system has 2 components: the somatic, kind of controlling the voluntary movement, like posture and movement, and when we decide to control our breath, and then the autonomic system, that is really the things that happen without us thinking about it. Hormones are regulating the heart rate, digestion, sleep, immune response, and all of that. That autonomic nervous system is the part that has the 2 modes: the fight or flight, preparing us for action, and the rest and recovery mode. And in our history, as we evolved, those systems worked really well together. We had a threat appear, and we went into fight or flight mode, and then the threat went away, and we went into recovery mode. Modern life has completely disrupted this rhythm. We have work without boundaries. We have artificial light at night. We have notifications going off all the time. We are
Right on cue.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So stress is not a single event anymore. It's our background. It's always on. And the center of this system is the vagus nerve. So you'll hear a lot about kind of this vagus nerve stimulation and why that's important. Essentially, when you stimulate that, it tells your body you are safe. So we're living in kind of this constant fight or flight mode. And what you'll hear more about in my trend in great detail is that neural wellness is not about mental health. It's not about brain health. It's about whole body health through the regulation of the nervous system. And it's really the master switch. You flip it and everything changes. And why now? What has changed to make this come to the forefront this year in our trends report? Visibility. Wearables have made stress visible to everyone. We can see our HRV is low. Our sleep is disrupted. When you put a number to what your stress levels are, people are starting to pay attention. And that is why sleep has become the gateway drug to neural wellness. And given that 70% of Americans and similar around the world suffer with sleep issues, a lot due to anxiety and depression, it is the gateway of what is making neural wellness come to the forefront. And so what we're seeing is somatic approaches like breathwork are still really, really key, and that's part of what's driving the trend because it makes it very accessible. But we now see technology that was once only in hospital and clinics, like EEG and neuromodulation devices, not only get FDA approval for use in the home, but we're seeing insurance coverage both in Europe and the US. And things like the Elemind headband, the EEG headband, I think that's going to be our new eye mask, is going to be the sleep headband. So if you have any questions, feel free to follow up, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Heidi. It's been really just great having you actually write a trend after being behind the scenes for so long. Heidi's a brilliant writer, and this is actually a trend that's near and dear to her heart. And it is a fascinating trend. It's really interesting how she's broken it down into these 2 sides where There's really accessible stuff like breathwork that's being used in new ways, but then there's so much exciting new technology that's coming on the market that really is just going to change the landscape.